All right. We're doing it live. So this is the Battle of the Palps, Royal versus Deshuga. It's been delayed several times, but now it's actually happening. But Deshuga's got some real legitimate excuses for delaying it, so no problems. We do whatever we can to accommodate people, and here we are. Royalsabk is a member of the TTI team to the extent that that exists. We don't do much like playtesting, but in the past we have. So a bit biased there, but we're gonna keep it neutral on the commentary level. Here are the deck lists. This is Royals. It's a very interesting Palp2 yellow list. Very different from the other one. He's not running the McClunky package. I mean, he's running some Scoundrels, but he's not running the McClunkies. No Cartel Spacers or anything. He's on 3 copies of Vader instead of 1 or 2. All of them main deck. What else is interesting? I think other than that, it's basically a pretty standard green yellow villain package. Oh, he's not running Cad Banes. That's an interesting one. So he's definitely playing this like in control list. Deshuga's also definitely control list on the new Palpatine. Running things, Luke's, Redemptions, Avengers. Also not running Cad Banes. But yeah, we'll see. He's making use of Smuggle. He's got Long Pikes and Tex in there, so he can definitely play the long game. But so can Royal, and it looks like we're just about ready to get into it. They might need me to give him the okay. But yeah. And it looks like Deshuga misses on a turn 1 play. Not the worst deal in this matchup. Royal's got double resupply. Could be pretty important. All right, Bazine. I'm thinking either Blast or Tech here, and it's going to be Blast. Definitely a very strategic card in this matchup. One of the probably the number 1 easiest answer to Palpatine. The flip. But leaving the Tech here does allow it to be played here. Maybe not the biggest deal from Royal's perspective. Not a huge threat right now. And he's hard to, kill. So Palpatine is going to be harder to flip. And if Deshuga does engineer Tech dying, then Royal's kind of happy with that. If you want my prediction, I do think Royal's favored here. He's got the ability to go late, and he doesn't have to worry about getting aggroed out early. I'm rooting for Palpatine. Yeah. One way or another, you'll be happy. Deshuga taking some time to think about this resource decision. He's going to be the Shinojin ship, it looks like. Oh, no, it's going to be Power. Okay. Yeah, Power feels kind of weak right now, especially. All right, Tech is going to attack Super Laser, presumably to just prevent the Palpatine from sacking it to draw a card. Bazine puts 1 more into him. So maybe we will see this Tech die. I mean, maybe not, actually, with Royal just being able to play resupply. All right. So Palpatine ability is going to be used anyway. defeats the Bayesian, picks up a Waylay here. And I think Royal's probably just going to play Resupply, go for the double ramp. He does have double Reinforcement Walker in hand, but Deshuga also has double Fell the Dragon to deal with those. All right, and tech is going to be sacrificed for this Shinoshin ship, which isn't going to even bounce anything. Oop. Not sure what's happening here. Looks like a bit of a TTS issue. All right. All right. Well, I guess we got to figure it out. All right. So in terms of card advantage, I think Deshuga's ahead. But at the moment, he's not really able to convert these cards into much. He's behind on resources too. I think Royal, Royal's got this Maul, which is a nice. It looks like Royal just keeps passing. Doesn't see a real reason to do much here. Takes the Maul because it can be played this turn. And yep, Royal gets his draw. Royal still has plays though. He can go for like the P38 here. He can also go for a second one and then Palp one of them as well. Playing the Bayesian allows Palp to flip back. All right, there's a second P38 here. If he Palps one of these P38s, he can take out the Clone Trooper as well. And it looks like he is going to do that. Picks up another card in the process. Vader, that's a pretty good one. All right, and we're now on the Palp flip turn. Not a real reason to flip him yet because there's something to steal. So I imagine Royal's going to wait on that, but he can play Reinforcement Walker this turn. Deshuga has the answer to it, but he's got to be mindful of keeping it. And Royal might decide to, play cautiously and go for like a Vader line first before going for the walkers. Because Walker is a real strategic asset in this matchup. All right, Royals playing bait here. He's not going to go too far with it, though. Just going to dump out the... Ooh, picks up a Devastator. That could be big. Especially if he eats the fells with these walkers. Alright, still a resource off from Devastator territory. And Deshuga's still... I mean, he's behind. He's on 7. Hasn't ramped at all. But he's hanging in there. He's actually got the damage lead in a matchup where I think Royal is the aggro deck. Even if not by much. Alright, Royal going to base here. Forcing Deshuga to trade here. Alright, and it looks like probably a Bayesian Vader line here is the play for Royal. Here the pick is probably either Redemption or Fell the Dragon. Probably Fell the Dragon, frankly. Yeah. That means that whatever else he plays is going to stick. I think there's... Let me check the list here. And these are in the description, by the way, if you want to look at them anytime. Okay, no. So Deshuga does have 3 Fell the Dragon main deck. I was going to say, I thought he might only have 2, but he does have the 3rd. There's the Vader. It's got a, any number of good pulls here. Royal Guard, Commando, P38. P38 isn't amazing here. Even Super Laser Attack is fine. Goes for the Royal Guard. Which is a 3/5 in this deck. There's going to be another Palp2 flip here. Ooh, Bayesian picked up. That's, I mean, that counters Devastator. Bosk into Bayesian here. Oh, maybe into something else. Maybe into nothing. Into Bayesian. Yep. All right. And then the second Bayesian. Yeah, it's probably going to be Devastator. Yep. Ooh, another Vader picked up. So, I mean, you can't be too happy about that if you're Royal, but it's not completely devastating. Bosk is an opportune steal for Palp2 potentially. Ooh, he's not gonna do it. He's actually gonna play combat games, clear the Bosk with the Vader. Try and get some of that card advantage back. They're actually even on cards now. Redemption can come down this turn for Deshuga if... Or no, it can't because he has to flip first. So spend money to flip. Just going to Bayesian, crash into Royal Guard. presumably setting up a Bosk onto the Royal Guard. Yep. Which also sets up a Power of the Dark Side onto Vader. I think Royal's thinking about flipping Palpatine here. You know, it doesn't feel amazing, but you know, it helps you push more damage. Like ideally, you want to be using it on like a Luke or a Devastator, or not Devastator, Avenger that would come down later. He's not gonna do it, at least not right now though. Goes for Reinforcement Walker. Ooh, picks up a Bazine. That's a good pickup. So okay, I always get confused about how Bosk works here, but I think you have to resolve power before you resolve Bosk. So he couldn't go like power, defeat Vader, then resolve power. He's gonna flip, so he's out of power range anyway. Did we get? Yeah, looks like we did get the damage. Okay. All right, and then there's the Bazine here. What do you take here? That's the question. I don't even know if I take anything, frankly. Like, I mean, maybe a redemption because it's a strategic thing, but it's not even like that hard to deal with. Yeah, doesn't even take anything. All right, there's a Lothal Insurgent, which is going to trigger here. And what's the discard going to be? Ooh, it's Vader. That actually matters. All right, I like Royal's position here. He's got a good overwhelming barrage set up for next turn, which is going to be a 3-for-1. He's got Bazine as a Power of the Dark Side blocker. He's still got his Palpatine flip ready. He's got this Reinforcement Walker established with no out to it. Vader's also not going to have an immediate out to it. So Deshuga is definitely on the back foot right now, especially after we're going to see this barrage. If we do, I mean, I fully expect it to happen right away. Rail's also got Frozen in Carbonite, which is the secret answer to any problem that might come his way, unit-wise. And yep, there's the barrage. I think he's just thinking about targets for, like, on his own side. Either Walker or Vader. Let's clear the whole board. It's going to be Vader. Which is sort of weak to the takedown play. But it's 2 damage, so it doesn't really matter. All right. And Reinforcement Walker picks up another Frozen in Carbonite. There's Lothal Insurgent. Lothal should not get... Oh, no, it's another card, not another unit. Okay, so it does trigger. Hits the second Poggle. All right, there's a Palpatine flip. Bazine is in range of getting bounced by Geonosian, but there's Poggle in here to set up a second power blocker. Shuga gets initiative. We're going to actually throw Bazine with Palpatine. Royal's still thinking here. Oh, he could play out this Royal Guard, which would have Sentinel. He's he did take out the one Super Laser Blast earlier, but how many copies are in? Deshuga does have 2 copies, so the second Super Laser Blast is a threat. All right. All right, there's power. Probably just going to be Poggle here, is my guess. Oh, it's the guard. Ooh, pick up another Poggle. Genosian. Bounce the Poggle. It's what, cost 3 or less, right? Yeah, cost 3 or less. All right. And there's not an immediate need to get a power blocker because power's not online. Ooh, he's going for the aggressive move. Steals the Lothal Insurgent here. I kind of like it because he's right there. I mean, he does know about this redemption, and the redemption could foil his plans a little bit. But I mean, he's so close that he might even just be fine dealing with it. There's Confederate Courier. Going to keep the rest of his units in hand. Interesting. All right. Is Deshuga just concedes there? Yeah, I think Royal had it, even through redemption. Just with pure attackers. All right. So Royalsabk up 1. Got double ramp early. Deshuga not capable of ramping. And Royal just was able to snowball some advantage with a reinforcement walker and kept getting down enough units to deal with things and kept having, you know, stuff in the tank to deal with any threat that would come his way from Deshuga. Let's take a look at the sideboards here. Deshuga's sideboard is very much equipped for pulling control mirrors like this one. Vigilance restock, Bounty Hunter Crew, Rivals Fall. These are all anti-control cards. Maybe the Charleston's come in, but I mean, actually, you know, Royal does have a lot of good ground units, and Charleston could counter those. So we'll see. But I think potentially we might see a full side in from Deshuga. On Royal's side, he's also got some more control-y cards. Relentless, Palp's Return. He's got the 3rd Change of Heart in there. And then he's got some more things for aggro, like those Dark Troopers, Cloud Rider. I don't think those are coming in. The 3rd Frozen and Carbonite, you know, you could go either way. Could be useful in this matchup, could not be. It all depends. Let's take a look at the bracket here. We just saw earlier today Eroth defeat Benton in a very close one. Came down to 1 health. But Eroth moves on to the top 4 where he's facing Jonah Niklas on Anakin Blue. Winner of this one gets to play the winner of Suwardo versus Buku, which has already been played, and the video will go up either tomorrow or Monday, likely, depending on when I have time to record it. Oh, wait, is today? No, today is Sunday, so it'll go up Monday or Tuesday. All right, we're getting into game 2 here. Both these players have been really entertaining to watch in their 24 and 16 matches. Royal had a blowout in top 24 against DNAL, and then a very, very close one in top 16 against Dylan. Both those were really good matches. I think it's a good test of a deck when you can win close matchups and also win some in blowouts. Good test of a deck and of a player also. Deshuga also had some really tough ones that were very close, including a win against our defending champion. I'm so humble. It looks like R2 comes down for Deshuga, but not going to use it. And it looks like the Childsons did come in out of the sideboard. And the Palp returns did come in for Deshuga. Villain Green has such a good game into hard control post board. 2 Relentless plus 2 Palp return is just insane. Absolutely, yeah. All right, R2 going to attack Poggle here. Notably, Royal doesn't have ramp this game. At least not right now. I think Royal's heavily favored here. Yeah, I do think so. Although the way this, the way these early game turns have been going, if Deshuga is going to win, this is how it should be going. But it's by no means going poorly for Royal. The early game tends to not matter as much in these matchups because, unless something insane happens, they usually get determined by things that happen way later. Rough spot for Royal here. No 4-drop. No ramp. I guess he could go for P38, but he has to give up the Bosk to the resources. And P38 is a solid play here. It sets up another battle droid to throw at R2. All right, Childson. And it's going to be 6-6. And Royal's got to find an answer to that. Who finally picks up a ramp card here. So he's going to go to 5 this turn. Could go up to 6 with Super Laser. He's just a couple turns off from being able to steal this Childson with Palp2. So the Childson gets a whack off here. All right. Ooh, Royal sinks a Cloud Rider into it, which, Spark Rebellion. This is going to be important here. If this clears Super Laser attack, it prevents Royal's line. Although the other cards are all important and you want to hit those, hitting Super Laser is really good here. All right, Palp2 going to sink 2 more into the Childson. I was thinking he was probably going to kill the Clone Trooper there, but I guess it gives him live ways to kill Childson next turn. Does not pick up one immediately, but he's got the resupply to get into Palp2 earlier, which could potentially steal the Childson. Oh, he's just going to no-good me dead at. Avoid taking the damage. This one's definitely going a lot better for Deshuga, though. He's playing this like he's the aggro deck, and he's also got removal in store. Double fell, super laser. Tech out of the resource roll also could be big. And Royal keeps drawing these barrages with no units on board. Royal's got a Vader here. And yeah, he's going to go for it. You definitely look first, see if you can pull a P-38 and snipe the Childson. Does not do it. But Bazine is a solid pull here. Super Laser also could be solid as just a Palp throwaway target. But Bazine is also a Palp throwaway target. All right. Hard to tell what the target is here. Probably Super Laser Blasts. But you definitely do not want to see this here. All 3 fells. Super Laser. If you get rid of one of these events and Deshuga really wants it back, he can just pull it back with the Bounty Hunter crew. So and I think he's not going to use the Vader ambush. Yeah, looks like it. Seven resources. Oh, nope, just 6. Nope, can't do that. It's because it's villain. B8. If you're Royal, you're kind of happy, actually, if the Vader eats a Fel the Dragon. And Deshuga, he's not making that decision yet, at least. I think Royal might be contemplating flipping Palpatine here. I probably would not. Just because I think you can wait and get a better value. He might also be thinking about how to use the Palpatine. Like, it looks like he just passes here. Or no, I think it was still actually Deshuga's action. Because he never did anything to replace the Bounty Hunter crew. So, going to play Spark out of the resource row with Tech. Hard to tell what the target is. Probably Reinforcement Walker, maybe Maul. I mean, you have that out to either of them in hand with Felder Dragon, but and it's gonna be Walker. All right. Royals action. He's mousing over Palp2, going to use the ability. All right. He's got to think about which one he wants to destroy, because there is actually an argument for throwing Vader into Childson to prevent the Palp2 flip. I don't think it's very good, but yeah, I actually it's just gonna be Bayesian. And Tech's gonna go to base. Royal's getting low. 12 health left. Ooh, picks up a Devastator. Not usable this turn, but usable next. Ooh, Deshuga's rethinking his resource here. Going to resource one of those Fellow Dragons. Royal's got, for the first time, he's actually got barrage targets. So he's contemplating doing that. He's also, I think, contemplating just doing Maul. It's just gonna be Maul. Clear the tech. And Vader eats a Fel. Alright, that's 2 Fels down. Royal doesn't know it, but there's only 1 left. The Deshuga also picks up the second Super Laser Blast here. Alright, he's gonna commit into it a little bit with this Poggle. Royal down to 6 health remaining. Takedown here, gonna clear the Maul. So I mean, not only is Royal down on damage here, he's also down on cards. And he's also down on board presence, although not to the same extent. So are we just gonna see the Devastator hit the board like expected? Yep. Keep in mind, Royal does still have his Palp2 flip live. Deshuga's got options here. He's on 9 resources. Going for 6. If he plays summon for 6, like this Bounty Hunter crew, he doesn't have a way to deal with Devastator. So, okay, it's going to be Fell to take out Devastator here. We're now getting into dangerous territory where next turn, Deshuga is going to be able to play Super Laser Blast no matter which side of Palp he's on, because he's going to be at 10 resources. Which makes this Palpatine flip extra hard to use. He does have a Change of Heart, which could come up as a way to deal with a potential threat. 5 resources, Lompike. Yep. And Lompike's actually threatening lethal. Royal does have, of course, ways to deal with it. But Palpatine flip now means Royal has to find... Alright, I think Deshuga's got it this round, right? Almost certainly. I don't think Royal has a way to deal with all of 3 of these threats. You go Devastator. Yeah, no. He doesn't have it. All right, so we're going to have a game 3. Are these games timed? No, they are not. I think there's a record somewhere. I think it's like an hour and a half. So they never go terribly long. I don't think we've had a 2-hour match ever. Maybe the Bosk versus Afra match was. I'm not sure. All right. But we're going to game 3 here. We'll see if these players want to go back to their sideboards at all. I don't anticipate it. All right. And we're going into game 3. It all comes down to this. Royal opens with the Poggle this time, and he's going first. Still doesn't have ramp, which I think, one of the key differences between this game and the last was, or between game 1 and game 2 was ramp. Game 1, Royal got double ramp. Last game I think he got 1 eventually, but not until much later in the match. All right, there's an R2, and it's actually going to be used this time. Double Lompike and a Feldragon. I would probably be taking Fel. Looks like he's not going to, though. He's going to take the second Lompike. I think Fel's a strategic card in this matchup. And Lompike really is not. It is important for engineering Palpatine flips, but other than that, I don't know. Droid Commando here is a solid pickup. You'd probably rather see ramp, but Droid Commando answers R2 beautifully. Not even going for it, actually, though. Going for some battle droid generation. I think Royal probably wants to get early card advantage. Lethal Insurgent played, not live. All right, Royal's got a Bazine in the resource row. Remember that for later if he doesn't use it right away. It's going to be a droid commando. So he gets to take out probably R2 here. Yep. Generates another battle droid. So now even though Lothal can kill Poggle, he would die on the Palp back. And that is what's going to happen, it looks like. Yep. And Vader, again, picked up off the Palp draw. Deshuga flips his Palp. Gets a draw and then plays a Lompike. Lompike, I know I said it wasn't that important in this matchup, but here it actually is looking pretty good. Although I think Royal's got good capacity to just ignore it. Oh, he's not going to ignore it though. Going to freeze and carbonate. And Deshuga's plays this round don't look incredible. Power of the Dark Side is blocked very easily by this courier. Going to be Bazine though. That's interesting. Not that great into this hand. But I mean, taking out a Vader just to takes out a droid commando here. Which is going to give Royal another draw. Picks up a Poggle. That's actually a great pickup there. Because he can play it this round. And he is going to. Alright. Palp2 flips back. And I think Royal can start hitting base here. No ramp for Royal, but he's still going aggressive. There we go. He gets a ramp piece here. Which actually, it fits into his curve kind of nicely. On Deshuga's end, he's going to want to engineer a Palpatine flip to get into this Child's End likely. So he's going to set it up there by killing the Clone Trooper. And Royal goes for resupply. So he's going to be on 8 next turn, which is going to be Palpatine flip territory. All right, there's Spark Rebellion. Again, like, not all that great into this hand. You can take out a P-38, but P-38's not doing a whole lot. All right, he's going to flip his Palpatine. You can play this Child's End, and it will be a 6/6. And, okay, Royal's actually going to use Palpatine here preemptively. So if Child's End comes down, it's in prime getting stolen territory. Although Royal does have to give something up, definitely, to get that. Okay, it looks like Deshuga's not even going for the play there. All right, effectively a blank slate. This Lompike really isn't doing much. So Royal's just gonna go Vader, no open, game state. It's got some good options here. But he does see both Devastators in a Palp's return going to the bottom, which is not ideal. He does have a second Vader, which can potentially bring them back up to the closer to the top eventually. All right, there's the Childson now. And ooh, he's gonna make it. He's gonna make it weak. That's interesting. He could have gone 5-5 or 6-6. Decides to make it a 4-4. Probably because he anticipates it getting stolen. And is Royal gonna take the bait? Looks like he isn't. All right, Deshuga gets a spark off. I think that's the second spark. He's also had a Bazine earlier. Going to spark a Bazine. I mean, yeah, he's got some strategic cards in his hand. He does not want to give up. Oh, he drew there because he thought it was Bazine, but it was spark, yeah. How do you know either player is not looking at the stream and seeing the opponent's hand? Lol, because they have integrity. Did Royal side in Relentless? Doesn't look like it, but it seems like a crucial card. He may not have. Ooh, did Royal Resources barrage there? Interesting. So, Deshuga's got a Vigilance in hand. Let's check cards. Royal's got 26. Deshuga's got 31. So, Mill could be a factor here. Royal also did pick up a second Bazine for turn here. But Deshuga's still figuring out his resource decision. It's going to be Rival's Fall. All right. Oh. Childson. Okay. Yeah, what's the play? Straight up second Bazine. And lots of these are good hits. I think you could hit just about any of these, actually. And they'd all be justifiable. I probably would take. I might take Vigilance actually. Maybe you take Fell. Maybe it's. I think probably you don't take Rival's Fall. I think it's between Vigilance and Fell for me, because one of the units you'd be happy to steal that with Palp. Especially Luke. If he is going to take a unit, it's probably Avenger. But, I mean, Avenger isn't even that big of a deal because he's got Frozen Carbonate. And it looks like he's going to take nothing. Interesting. All right, going to get value out of that. Childson while he can. Maul's going to come in, clear him. Get some good base damage in there. But he is set up perfectly for a Vigilance kill. All right, it's not going to be Vigilance. It's going to be Fell on Vader. Clone Trooper also clears Maul on its own at this point. We're all going to march in with that Battle Droid while he still can. All right, Clone clears the Maul. Leaving the Battle Droid as the only thing on board. does... Oh, Deshuga's got attack, I guess. Yep. Tech, though, is perfect Vader food next round. We're slowly marching onwards. And as we get into the later game, things, I think, start to be more favorable for Deshuga. But Royal's got a lot of things saved up that makes it so it's not necessarily the case. He's still got his Palp2. He's still got a lot of his strategic cards in the deck. But Deshuga having vigilances and all these big units does make it harder. And also things like tech to get even more card advantage. It's going to be a close one. But Deshuga has to be careful not to get blown out by this Palp2 flip. He doesn't have a Super Laser Blast right now. And he's playing it carefully. Going for the Bayesian here. Change of Heart and Reinforcement Walker are both good hits. Gonna be the Change of Heart. Battle Droid walks into the base. Five for looking like Bosk. Ooh, goes Bosk into Vader, which sets up... It sets up Bayesian killing him next turn, yeah. Royal, I think, deciding whether he wants to use his Palp2 ability this turn, and it looks like he does not. Deshuga does flip his Palp2. Ooh, Royal now has all three Reinforcement Walkers. Now's as good of a time as any to play them also. Okay, so he's actually going to Clone Trooper into Super Laser before Bayesiening into Vader, which gives it gives Royal the chance to go Maul into Bayesian. Doesn't take it though. So the Bayesian, oh, he's having second thoughts again. Possibly using like a Luke or a Vigilance to clear the Vader. Going to use the Bayesian to clear the Battle Droid. Possibly setting up for an Avenger. Oh no, he can't. Well, he could flip and then Avenger this turn, yeah, because he is in position to flip. And ooh, there's the Maul. Going to be 5 to base. And Deshuga's got just 6 health left. He does have ways to heal. He's got his Palp2 flip. He's got Vigilance. He's got potentially if he can manage to get a Luke hit in, that's Restore. Looking like it's gonna be Vigilance here, although he's thinking about it, so it could be Luke. Luke clears either of these units. Vigilance only clears Vader. It's gonna be Vader, yeah. If you're Royal, you're kind of happy. I mean, you're obviously you don't like to see it, but you are happy it's not milling, kind of. And is that another tech out of the resource row I'm smelling? Yes, it is. Palp2's going to flip, bring Deshuga down to 17. And Royal is not resourcing. He hasn't resourced in a long time. He just sees all the utility in these small units. And there is a lot. And Maul going straight to base, not going for the tech at all. Which I think there's good utility in that. Royal is now actually threatening lethal this turn. Because remember, he still hasn't flipped that Palpatine. So Palpatine attack plus P38 attack is lethal. Which means Deshuga has to do something about P38. Or he has to be... I mean, well, he's got the Rivals Fall, so he's going to be able to take out Palp. So it's not going to end this turn unless Deshuga really fumbles this one bad. Deshuga's also got his whole resource row in hand because of this tech. Deshuga is still deterred from playing units to deal with things because of the Palpatine flip. But crucially, he has to not only stop the sneaky lethal of Palp plus P38, he also has to be able to answer Maul. Because if he leaves this round without answering Maul, then Maul's lethal next round. It's tricky. I'm not sure I have the right answer. All right, Power of the Dark Side here. That's one way to do it. All right. That is real because all right, he's going to defeat them all. All right, so he gets out of it. So that means he could be baiting Royal into going for the trick lethal line. Knowing that he's got Rivals Fall in hand to stop it. And Royal knows that Deshuga has tricks. He knows he's got Rivals Fall. I think he knows he's got Luke because he saw his hand earlier. Royal gonna Bazine to try and set it up here. Here is tricky because there's also the now additional trick of Royal has claim lethal next round on P38. He also has, but he also if he can force Deshuga to use Luke to deal with Palpatine for the trick line instead of Rivals Fall, then he can potentially take initiative and cheese it with either of the units. So Royal's right there. And I think he might actually be able to get this one. I know I said it wasn't going to happen this round, but I think it could. He's just going to steal this useless Lawn Pike. And that forces out the Luke, right? Oh, does he have something? Does he have another Rivals Fall in the resource row? He's got a Vigilance in the resource row. That actually saves him. Okay. Because that defeats, it heals 5 and defeats the P38. So now Royal has he's got a present lethal next turn option. He's going to be able to clear this Clone Trooper in the process. Which forces Deshuga to take initiative. Deshuga does have ways to stop this Luke, or this Palpatine lethal on like next turn, but it also gives Royal the ability to pour some more units onto the board, which can potentially try to get there. And it looks like he's not going to opt to play the second unit there. Probably playing around Super Laser Blast, which I don't believe we've seen any out of Deshuga yet. And he doesn't draw it this time. But you've got to be worried about it, because if it's in the hand or in the resource row, both of which are massive, then it could be a thing. And it looks like, oh, is he going to play it? Oh, he does. Yeah, so he did have it in the resource row. So he's going to play it for 12 out of the resource row there, which keeps him alive for the time being. But Royal now has free reign to do whatever he wants this turn, which includes go Reinforcement Walker plus Power of the Dark Side blocker. In this Confederate Courier. Picks up a Palace Return as well. So Royal is well equipped to go into the long game here. And he's right on Lethal's door. Does Deshuga... So Deshuga's got initiative. Does he have a way to stop it here? Because Luke's not enough. I don't think he does. Well, so theoretically he might have a chance. He could go Luke, hit Reinforcement Walker, and if the Reinforcement Walker attacks before the Courier, he could then go Genosian Ship to bounce the Confederate Courier, which keeps him alive for a turn. So, I mean, he goes for the line while he can. We'll see if Royal... Oh, Royal doesn't see it. He doesn't anticipate it. But it looks like Deshuga's just gonna concede anyway, because realistically he didn't have a way back into this one. Wow, that was close. Royal manages to get it 2-1. That was some good unlimited out of both players there. But I mean, when it comes down to it, like, these are two different shells of control, and they both have access to different things. Deshuga's got blue, Royal doesn't. Royal's got green, Deshuga doesn't. And it looks like the green showed itself to be more valuable here. All right. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. Congratulations to Royalsabk for moving on to the top 4. Congratulations to Deshuga for making it this far, and for playing a great game here to both these players. So, expect the last top 8 video in the next couple of days, and then we're going to start moving on to top 4. I'm not sure what Royal's top 4 matchup is going to be yet. It's either going to be a mirror match or it's going to be Sabine. But even if it's a mirror, there are two very different builds of the same deck, Palp2 yellow. If it's against Sabine, then could be trouble for Royal. But maybe he's equipped into it. Not sure. The other match is going to be very interesting. Jonah versus Eroth. Jonah's already beaten a very good player on Sabine. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and remember to always take the initiative.